couple of bills aim to address transparency issues within law enforcement agencies, both locally and federally. They were voted on today by the California State Assembly. This would make California the first state in the country to ban law enforcement officers at all levels from covering their faces during operations, including immigration raids. A lot of these raids, they have those face coverings, right? Your reporter Kayla Mueller is at the state capitol breaking down one of those bills, SB 627, which applies to law enforcement at any entry level.
The bill is in direct response to the widespread immigration raids happening across the state. It would ban officers from covering their faces. If they do not comply, they could be charged with a misdemeanor. There are exceptions for SWAT and undercover work. State Senator Scott Wiener, who introduced the legislation, says the public has a right to know if they're interacting with a real officer or potentially a bad actor.
This bill is not about preventing law enforcement from engaging in their typical work. It is about preventing extreme masking that is causing terror in our communities.
Critics argue the bill is cracking down on California law enforcement officers who aren't even part of those raids. But can California even force federal agents to show their faces? I took this bill to a law professor. He says he understands the concerns surrounding ICE agents and other officers concealing identities. He calls it a legitimate public policy issue. However, he says this bill isn't a good way to address those concerns, calling it micromanaging.
I think it's an effort to solve an issue, which I think the state of California has no authority to solve, unfortunately. And secondly, I think it will hamstring local law enforcement with a bill which will have lots of unintended consequences.
Kayla, thank you. The other bill passed today is aimed towards strengthening existing law for impersonating an officer, firefighter, or government employee that requires all law enforcement, including local, state, and federal, to display a visible identification, meaning name or badge number.